Have you tried the lasagna? It's my favorite.
Give me that.
Did you catch a game last night? Mm-hmm. Is it still hot out there? Do you like hot fudge sundaes? All right.
Shorty, my watch tells me the same thing. How'd I do? You break the news to him, Shorty. John wouldn't believe me on a bet.
Son, you come within 1 second of the world's record time.
Oh, cut it out. Come on now. How bad was it?
Honest, John, on the level. Why, you ought to be a cinch to win the Cheyenne Rodeo.
Gee, that's great if you really mean it. I didn't think it was even close to winning time. You guys aren't kidding me, are you? My watch clocks the same time. Well, let's get a steer out and see what I can do with that. Come on. Let him go! Great times. Sure enough, boy.
They call the wind Mariah. Way out here they've got a name for rain and wind and fire. The rain is Tess, the fire is Joe, and they call the wind Mariah. Mariah blows the stars around and sets the clouds to flying. Mariah makes the mountains sound like folks was up there dying. Mariah.
Kahneman decided that the human mind was very strange and full of contradictory impulses.
Times 19.
Now, he, along with other psychologists inspired by Dr. Hess, studied the pupils in people's eyes as they gave them all kinds of problems to solve, while distracting them with music and noise.
223.
They were trying to probe further into the human brain to see how it responded to the world outside in ways that the individual wasn't aware of. But as Kahneman and the others watched the individuals in their laboratories, isolated from the society outside, they were led down a very strange path. That in the age when the individual self was going to become the central focus, from politics through to consumerism, the scientists were going to come to the conclusion that maybe the conscious self wasn't fully in control of what humans did. 35 years later, Kahneman was going to be given the Nobel Prize for a theory that began with his work in the 1960s. He would come to believe that what we think of as the self is really just a small part of something else hidden inside our brains. A much larger part of the brain that actually experiences the world outside. But that experience makes no sense. It is just an ongoing chaotic rush of biochemical data that flashes up and fades away. And what humans think of as their self is actually an accessory that tries to make sense of this chaotic mass of incoming data.
They're running in town before night. There'll be guns a-blazing and singing with lead. Tonight you'll be drinking your drinks with the dead. A cowboy sang his song of the dead as he rode all the prairie wide. And his eyes no longer flamed with red, and his guns were empty of poison lead, for his gal rode close to his side.
Convention host Mayor Daley has certainly had his share of headache. First, they were afraid they couldn't even finish wiring the convention hall. But when they started the balloting, I think you'll find he got it wired nicely. Yeah. Disagree. Without guns, how can we shoot anybody? Suppose a man comes home early and finds another man with his wife. What's he supposed to do? Poison him? And what about suicide? Can you imagine a guy trying to beat himself to death with a stick?
Tore out my fingernails digging like a mad dog. But in the end, I found the vein. I stood there at the bottom of the pit and I let the black god fill up around me, swallowing me into thick, warm darkness that I had unearthed. It was my first baptism. But that day, as I stumbled upon the railroad track, I was reminded that I was just a sleeper, a foundation on which the universe is built and evolved, the long run to the end of time and the abolition of all matter and meaning. What purpose do I serve with all my money and power if I end up unable to control that final destiny that awaits us all? Prince and pauper, earth and emptiness smashed together in the final moments of a collapsing reality. Once, I delighted myself in evil thoughts. Once I resigned myself to the fate of the universe. I felt that nothing mattered, and that rich men, powerful men, should be able to express their gifts in whatever manner they deem fit. The dark years, I suppose. I plundered and exploited every conceivable resource. I drew a deep and jagged scar across the world like a signature. In the end, I felt no different. I will die. I will die. I felt that phrase like a shudder for the first time when someone called me a bad man. I am not a bad man. I am a desperate man. I do not know why I'm here.
Stop where you are. It ain't healthy for strangers around this part of the country, so you can just head back the way you came. Now get going.
Simulated sun. Every particle accounted, mathematically traced. Lines of binary as rays of light. Source code makes no reference to its death. In our mortal lives, the sun appeared constant and unending. But it was mortal too. We stole from God death. And we've proven that peace is a temporary paralysis from reality.
Moving.
Well, what about you?
Oh, we couldn't get away riding double. Well, you ride into town for help. I'll hold them off as long as I can.
It's the posse. Let the posse take care of him.
Look at this. Who can say it isn't beautiful? Sky, bricks. Who do you think lives there? 4-car garage. Hope, fear, excitement, satisfaction. Now I'm going to give you...
Don't you wish that you could be in the presence of God eternally? Don't you wish that you were happy like Larry? To live is Christ, but to die is gain. We shall not fear.
Keep out of this, Miss Mason. This is no place for you.
But you're making a mistake. You've got the wrong man.
I say stay out of this. We know what we're doing.
Carter, you've got to listen to me.
Wait a minute, man. Well, Miss Mason, what is it?
This man hasn't done anything. He was holding off the Martin gang when they made the attack.
Well, that's different. Why didn't you tell us that before?
You didn't give me a chance to.
I'm sorry. I guess we were a bit hasty. I'm Carter, the banker. This is Emmett, our local storekeeper.
Well, my name's Middleton. If you fellas are through with your little necktie party, why, I'll be on my way.
We're sorry, Middleton. I guess it's late, boys.
I want to thank you, Miss
Mason. Ann Mason.
Well, you aren't related to Hank Mason, are you?
Yes, he's my uncle. Why do you ask?
Well, he sent for me. I was on my way here when I learned that he was missing. I certainly had a warm welcome here.
It's mighty nice of you to help me out.